This is a PGM 98387 coming to you from Spanaway, Washington. You can see the cherry trees is starting to bud, and about two or 3 weeks ago I did prune them, made sure it was dry and the sun was out, so it wasn't going to be, and it's the end of, pretty much the end of the frost, so that's when I pruned back. Remember, anytime any two branches are touching each other or close by, you want to cut one off. Also, you want to leave the inside open like a bowl, so you don't have any branches growing inside, so it can breathe on the inside of the tree. And here's the Asian pear, as you can see, starting to get a lot of buds. And I go up with a tall ladder and I cut the tops off so that I can get to the fruit when there's fruit on it. That way the tree won't get so tall that you can't get to the fruit. Then I have, those are blackberries, raspberry canes here that are just coming up. And I'll show you what I'm doing also. I'm using raspberry canes that come up. I put them in pots and I'm growing them along the perimeter of the property. I don't know if you can see it back there, but there's potted raspberries that are growing from the canes that I dug up in the fall after the leaves fell off. And here's the panels, and I'll show you just another barrel I got, scavenged that. These are rain barrels. All these barrels are connected to the downpipes that are on the sides of the roof right there. You can see it, but there's a pipe that runs vertical off the rain gutter. It flows into a Y connector to the hose, and then the hose fills the barrels, and then the barrels overflow, fills another barrel, overflow, fills another barrel, and it fills that blue barrel over there. Part of the rain system. I need to reattach it since the frost is over. Here's what I have currently running. As you can see, the sun is out, so right now I have I'm bringing in a considerable amount of amps. I really need to take these off this roof here and wire them into this. And other people have mentioned that I should do that, and they're right. I should probably do that because these regulators they're showing they're fully charged right now when they're really not. It's 13 volts as a cut-in. Well, it's 13 volts now. So I have the backup. I have 2 voltmeters. One's going to these plates, and the other one is going to the battery. So it's showing it shows a little bit of a difference in voltage. So right now I'm pulling into the battery bank that many amps total from all the panels. Sorry about the focus. This camera's getting, it's kind of, I have it on my macro and I don't. So this is disconnected. I've had this on most of the winter, and I have the dip switch setting at load, so because I have some, like my little netbook and wireless modem and some of my lights and light load devices I have hooked up, and this is running all winter 24/7. So I'm not on the grid. So you got to be careful. If you get a Chinese-made grid-tied inverter, make sure it's compliant, and have your power company come out and check it and make sure that there's not going to be any hazards, or you won't get a lawsuit on your hands. So anyhow, this is what I have running here. I have one 9-watt LED light. I have one 26-inch picture tube TV, one netbook on standby, one netbook with USB mouse on, one cable modem on, one wireless router on, one battery charger, 3 air cleaners, fan on high, 2 cable TV boxes, and one standing room fan. And you can see this is how many. Other people have mentioned that this may be inaccurate, so I need to get a new one of these. They're available. They're pretty good. It tells you what you're using as on your plug-in devices. So many amps running at 100 volts, 100.2 volts. So it's 59.9 hertz, 256.7 watts, 2.72 amps, 255 watts. And you can see how much power is coming in. This is a 12-volt system that I'm using. It's these 4 Siemens, these 3 80-watt Kyocera, and then these 3 other Kyocera 50-watt, and then the ones on the roof on this side, and then there's other ones on the other side of that roof. I don't know if you could see them. It's kind of hard to see them. Sorry. And this is what I'm going to do here. I have to move these worms because I have the red wigglers inside because it freezes here. And now that the freeze, most of the frost is over with, hopefully, I'm going to move these. You can see they don't like the light, so I don't usually let them in the light. These are my red wigglers. You can see this is like, so anything that's banana peels, apple rinds, any kind of food scraps, vegetable food scraps, and paper too. Make sure it's organic and it's not got any weird, any kind of odd inks on it or plastics or any kind of weird chemicals sprayed on the paper. Make sure it's cardboard that's organic cardboard, and you can use cloth too. I don't know, this may not be cotton, but they like it, you know. These are I haven't ordered any worms. These worms I've had for like almost 3 years now. It's the same worms. I've never ordered any more. I've had them, and what this is it's a plastic tub inside of a plastic tub, and on the bottom, in the bottom tub, there's 2 concrete blocks, and then this inside tub has holes perforated all the way along the inside. I drilled those out. So there's probably other people that will show you how to make these online. I'll leave a link. I'll try to find it and leave a link to where I got that idea to make that. But you know, you pay all this money at the grocery store. You spend your hard-earned money, and you slave and you work, and then you go to the grocery store, and like an apple's $1 and a banana's like 50 cents. So that the refuse that you throw away in the garbage, it could be used for your garden if you have any kind of available space for growing vegetables, or putting fruit trees in if you have land, if you're rich enough or you have opportunity to, you're going to live in a place for long enough and you can grow fruit trees, grow apples and pears, and apples are really inexpensive and they grow well most places. Here's more, this is the original worm factory that I purchased. And I think they're sleeping in this one. Well, there they are. Got lots of worms in here too. I kind of need to change this out because it's getting to be where they need the new bedding in there. So I keep blankets over them, and also in the winter, because my wife doesn't want these in the house because you got to keep them warm. You can't let them freeze. So I keep, in the winter, and then there's a little heater down there, a little 200-watt heater. And that's hooked up to this timer that I have. This timer here, and then there's the heater. So that's on and off in the night. It'll go on and off and on and off during the night. I have it set. And then here's I got an air bubbler. This is just a regular aquarium pump. You can get these at your big box stores. And then I use the aerator stone. And that is the drainage in there off the worm bins. So I have these worm bins, and they drain into this little container here, and there's another container. And here's I still haven't done this. I know you're like, why hasn't he put the solar up? Why hasn't he put the solar up? Well, here's the original wire I was going to use, and it's the solid core, household wire I got from a big box store, and it's the wrong kind of wire. I want to use the right kind of wire for this. So I went out of my way and I got some 10 AWG stranded, and this is stranded AWG 10, and it's got the red and the black, so it's outdoor also, and it's 25 feet. Hopefully it'll reach the roof. I'll show you. And then I was going to use this for this book here for worms. What you do is you can take old phone books and rip them into strips, and then take the strips and use them for bedding in the worms. So that's what I'm and I'm going to move these outside. As soon as the weather gets warmer, I'm going to move these outside and use the castings in the soil for the plants. So, and there's where I'm going to put them. But I need to take the panels put them on the ground and hook them up and test them and make sure they're working first. Now once I know they're working, then I can get up on the roof and I can mount them up there. PGM 98387 signing off. Thank you.